skippity button dud you done fucked it up. The one thing that your main competitor gave to us for free, you now charge us for paid DLC. I honestly 100% thought that Nordic and THQ would have countered this whole thing. They would have thought smarter of it after they actually came out with it. That's why I didn't make this video sooner. I apologize for that. I truly, honestly thought that they would have started coming out with those bikes and they just would have made them free. They would have thought that there's no way we can do this. This isn't right. We shouldn't be doing this. And they didn't. So that's why I'm here. I just cannot believe they would do that. I mean, explain that to me from a business standpoint, okay? You've got your main competitor over here, which is the official Monster Energy Supercross game, and they give you all of the real manufacturer bikes for free. You've got your Suzuki bikes, your Yamaha bikes, your KTM bikes, your Honda bikes, all of the real life manufacturer bikes in there just in the base game, just for free. And then this game comes out, and it's got its sort of like off-brand bikes. So you've got your THQ, Nordic, all that kind of stuff, which is not a real-life brand, and that's the only bikes in the game. And then shortly after the game comes out, they come out with real-life Suzuki, Honda, Yamaha bikes and stuff, but you got to pay $3 a piece for them bitches. $3 a piece! I mean, just, like, seriously, from a business standpoint, what the fuck? I mean, how does that make any sense? If you would make anything microtransaction and DLC, you would think they wouldn't do it with something that their main competitor already gives you in the base game that you don't have to pay for at all. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what? How does that even make any sense? I don't get it. Oh my God, do they not understand? The only people that actually go in there and buy those real life bikes are YouTubers that are just trying to get some bang on their buck and act like they like it when they really don't, and then the 5-year-old kids that steal their mom's credit cards. Like, none of us smart people actually buy those bikes. We just don't. I mean, I did that whenever they first started doing it way back, and I think it was Alive. This is where this whole microtransaction DLC bike mess started from, and I think I bought like one of the Yamaha bikes on that game, and then I realized real quick, like, dude, this is one of the dumbest little tricks they've ever done in these motocross games. One of the stupidest microtransactions they have ever done. I mean, it seriously is, because it's like, it so easily could have just been put into the game, but they just chose to strip that out of there and charge you extra for it, period. There's nothing else to it. And it is just so mind-boggling, baffling. I just don't understand. A game where you are directly competing with the official Monster Energy Supercross game, of all things. You know, I talked about this game not being as expensive. I talked about all that little stuff. You know, it's got more content in it, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's really seeming like a full game. And then you get in here, and 5 days after the game's released, they've got all these real-life manufactured DLC bikes that were obviously already in the game, but now they're just all of a sudden DLC that you have to pay for extra. It like defeats the whole purpose. It defeats the whole purpose of what this game was even trying to do. Like, holy God, that's so stupid. It is just so beyond me how game companies think that we don't notice the shit. It's funny, man. It really is. And it's like, yeah, I understand. You don't have to buy the bikes. I get it. But that's stupid to even think like that, because those are things that should already be in the game. Real manufactured bikes should be in every motocross game. It just should be. And if they can't afford to buy the license for it, then just don't buy the license for it. But do not make it microtransaction DLC. I told you motherfuckers not to do this, and you went ahead and did it anyways. And there was something in the back of my mind when they first started coming out with this. I was like, they're going to be smarter than that. Maybe they had this planned out, because maybe like back in the Live days they did that, so they were going to come out and maybe start doing that. But I was like, dude, they have to be smarter than that. They're going to change that. They're just going to give that to everybody for free when it actually comes out. And that's just not how it actually happened. I just wanted to sit back and wait and see how all this panned out, what all kind of bikes and stuff they come out with, and what kind of DLC microtransaction they come out with. And it's basically exactly like it was in Alive. not only, like, in your mind you might think, oh, well, maybe it's like $3 for all of the DLC bikes, right? Maybe it's like you just pay a little bit of money, one little DLC pack, and you get every single real life replica bike in the game. No, you have to pay $3 for each individual bike. What the hell, dude? Like, what? Oh my god, it's just so silly to me. I do not understand. Like, seriously? You're telling me if I want every single real-life replica bike in this game, I have to pay $50? I added all this shit up when I was looking at the little DLC microtransaction page for this game, and if you add every single one of those things up, every single one of those DLC bikes for $3, you're paying more than you paid for the fucking game to get the real-life replica bikes in there that should have been in there anyways. Like, what? Oh my god. You guys see why I make rant videos? You see why I do it? And some of you guys that thought that I was just like a MX vs. ATV all-out super fanboy and just hated on the official Monster Energy Supercross game, I hope this is totally waking your ass up, because I'm going in on them on this one, dude. You can hear it in my voice. I'm going way in, bro. Like, this is no joke. I'm pissed about this. I just am. And to some people, it may not seem like that big of a deal. Like, oh, there's still the other bikes in there. You don't have to get it. It's more of a cosmetic thing. It's one of those cosmetic things that they're just stripping out for no apparent reason. And just being scummy and greedy with it. That's the problem, you know? Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it really is just a cosmetic thing. But at the same time, it's like such a level of greedy that it just makes it where it's a big deal. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to microtransactions, for me, okay, like, back in the day, it all started where a game would come out, you would pay the money for it, and you would get the full experience of the game, the full extent of the content, everything in that original base package that you paid for. And then they started moving into what you call like expansions and DLC in that sense, where you would pay for a game, you'd get the full content in it, and then after the full life cycle of the game has kind of went through and everybody's played it and kind of got tired of it, they would just come out with more content for that game. And then you would pay more money for that game. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the expansion packs, right? Like, I'm okay with DLC to a certain extent when it's actually extra content. The problem starts to occur when they start stripping out content that was supposed to be in that original package that you paid for to make it DLC to try to get more money in the long run. You see what I'm saying? And that's what makes this whole ordeal such a big deal, is the fact that we should have been having all of those normal real life Yamaha, Suzuki, Honda bikes and all that in there, but they just took that out, right? It's something they just took out to try to make more money. It's not like they're just adding this in as a next expansion feature. This is some shit that should have been in there, you know? And that's where the problem starts to occur for me, is when they start stripping stuff out. Like the past 5 Call of Duties, you know how those have felt like 1/4 of a game? Well, that's because they strip damn near the whole game out and then give you the rest of the game in DLC. That's what they've started doing. And that's one of the worst marketing schemes that has happened in recent gaming. It just is. It's where they, instead of just making that full experience at the beginning, they make the full experience that you expect, and they strip out about 1/4 of it or half of it to give you in DLC later. So when you buy the base version of a game, you feel like you've got this like 1/4 piece of the pie that you paid the full amount for, and you're like, what's going on here? And that's what goes on. Now, when you talk about actual microtransactions, this is where it takes it to another level, where it's like something that, and I'm okay with cosmetic stuff, right? Like, if you want to buy a skin for your gun, has nothing to do with the original base content, something they've truly added later on, and it's like a full skin system. You can buy skins for real life money if you want to. No actual pay to win, doesn't actually help you in a gameplay sense. It's just a cosmetic visual thing. I'm okay with that. I honestly don't have a problem with that. But the problem occurs is when it's something that should have been in there in the beginning, and it's obvious that it was supposed to be in there in the beginning, and then it wasn't. Something that you just start to expect, like the compound DLC for the official Monster Energy Supercross game, when they had a compound in MXGP3, and they're going to have a compound in MXGP Pro, but then they just randomly don't give you a compound in the official Monster Energy Supercross game, and then make it paid DLC later. That's some horse-ass shit. And then, like this right here, where you should be able to have these real-life bike replicas in the game, and then they come out with them as DLC so shortly after the game is launched that it's fucking obvious that those were already in there, right? And it's just so stupid. Oh my gosh, like that's where I get so frustrated with it, is when it's like that. When it's those little things that can actually not only help you in a gameplay like pay to win type of sense, but also things that are supposed to, you could obviously tell they were supposed to be in there from the beginning. So then is it really even DLC, or can you even really call it DLC at that point? I would call it like stripped content that we're making you pay for later. That's really what it is. It's not DLC. It's not expansion content. I guess the true definition of DLC is downloadable content, but you get what I'm saying. Like, DLC started off being this thing of it's extra. It's extra stuff that you can pay for if you want it. And now it's something where it's something that you pay $60 for the base game, and then if you want to go in there and get that actual full experience, you're going to have to pay another $60 or more. And then by the end of all the DLC packs that they come out with in a certain game, and you've paid about triple of what you used to pay for games, now you've actually about got your, what you would call like the full experience of the game. And it's just pitiful that it's gotten to that point, honestly. And I hate to see it happen to a game like this that has really felt like they were going somewhat in a better direction and trying to, add that content, Supercross, Motocross, but damn, man, when they do stupid stuff like this, there's no excuse for this type of shit. There's not. Not at all. And it just makes this game look really, really bad. When you got the official Monster Energy Supercross game over there that gives it all to you for free, it's one of those things. This is not the angle, the kind of content I would be doing like paid DLC on. of any kind of paid microtransaction DLC, this is the last shit I would be doing right here, where your main competitor, your only competitor, is giving it to us in the base version of the game for free. You understand what I'm saying? And that's where it's like, I just can't even understand it, man. So either way, I appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.